What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today in this video, guys, we're going to talk about what gives the heroes value in DeFi kingdoms. I got my handy dandy notes over here, guys, for the ADHDers. Well, yeah, that's me. But the heroes value, where does it come from? Well, there are several different things. I notated 11 different ones, and then 12, I don't know, just popped up. I pressed enter and it just popped up like this. Enter 12, whatever. Okay, so the heroes get value off of several different things, but these are the main ones that I found. First is generation. Why does generation have a bunch of, well, value? Well, let's go ahead and look at the population report. As you can see here on the population report, this is by generation. Generation 2s are like nuts and ham. They have a ton of them. And generation 3, it's working its way up. 4, 5, 6, 7. And yeah, these are like none. It's because people aren't minting them right now because they're still dealing with this. Generation 1s are a bit slower. Now let me explain to you how this works. The generation 0s, they have a max cap. They're never going to be more than 2091. Well, actually, they're going to have some in Crystal Vale, so yeah, there will be a little more. But the Gen 0s are capped. That's why those are valuable, because there's not going to be an unlimited supply. The generation 1s are a very limited supply. The generation 1s come from the Gen 0s. That's the only way you can get the Gen 0s. And they're able to mint like nuts and ham. But the problem is after their first mint, they have to wait 4 hours. After the second, it's 8 hours. And after the third, it's 12 hours. And it consistently builds several hours until it's capped at 3 days, which is 72 hours. So theoretically, after all those guys summon, the most you can get is 2091 times, well, every 3 days. So we're going to do 365 divided by 3, and that's going to give us 121 days. So what we're going to do is the 121 days, because it's about 121 days. 121 times, because it's every 3 days. And instead of 2091, we're actually going to multiply this by 1045, because 2 heroes make 1. So we divide that by 2. So we're going to go ahead and multiply 121 by 1045. And that means we can have a total of 126,000 Gen 1s at max per year. So there are going to be more people using more than that. But that is the maximum amount of heroes that can be summoned in a full entire year. So that basically allows 126,000 people to have 1 hero. Now, of course, that is just the Gen 1s. Now, the Gen 2s will have a lot more because now we have 120. Let's just call the Gen 1s 126,000 heroes. And if they can mint 10 heroes, we'll do 126,000 times 10. That's going to give a maximum amount of it's just going to be 10x the amount of Gen 1s. And then the Gen 3s are going to be, well, theoretically it'll be about 9x, but it's probably going to be a little less, depending on how the hero summons go. But TLDR on this is Gen 1s, there's going to be a limited supply. Now, there's a unlimited supply on 2s, 3s, and so on. But TLDR on this is the Gen 0s and Gen 1s, there's not going to be a lot. Now you guys are like, okay, what the snap? He just confused me. Okay, the reason why Gen 1s and Gen 0s, well, actually Gen 0s have a lot of value compared to a Gen 1 is because they have unlimited summons. When they summon one of the heroes, they can sell it for a value. That's why they hold their value better. And Generation 1s have 10 out of 10 summons. So you can summon 10 heroes. Whereas the Gen 2s, they can only summon 9 and so on. And here you can kind of see like the genealogy right here. I'm going to minimize this, make it smaller. But you can see right here, Gen 0, Gen 1, Gen 2. You can see this is the summoning scales that they have. And you see it costs more and more Joule, especially when you're summoning with a Gen 10. Do you really want to spend 106 Joule? That is crazy. You can literally pair 2 Gen 0s together and spend less than that. It's something to keep in mind. But the reason why people are pairing these different heroes together is because of this family tree, I guess you can say. People want this Dread Knight. This Dread Knight is worth a ton of money. It's literally worth like 4,500 Joule for a common. Like a common one, 4,500 Joule. A mythic, who knows what it'll go for. What is the price of Joule? Well, let's just call Joule 10 bucks or $5 if you want. Well, if you factor in 4,500 Joule, that's going to come out to 25,000. Nah, it's about $22,000, and you can literally summon that. That's just like printing it out of midair. Obviously, you got to summon it, and it's difficult to do that. So that's what gives the heroes the value. Now, since we're talking about this, I'm going to segue into this. Advanced classes are hard to summon. Elite, even harder. Exalted, the hardest. Why is that? Well, because in order to get the advanced class, you got to pair these two heroes together. Now, once you do that, there's like a 30% chance or 40% chance that you'll actually get an advanced class. Now, once you get the advanced class, you got to pair those together to get the Dragoon, which is even less of a chance. And there's a chance where you go back to the Warrior and Knight. But you only have 5 chances, because these aren't unlimited summons after you get to advance. The max is 5. So you get 5 chances. Now once you get the Dragoon, you get 3 chances. That's the max. Typically you'll only have 1 if your guy has less summons in it. Something to keep in mind. So basically you have 3 chances to get the Dread Knight. You lose, you got to start all the way over back down the family tree. It's not as easy as it seems. That's where the heroes are getting their value, especially the more advanced, elite, and exalted classes, because they're hard to do. And of course, that kind of covers the generation. And yeah, we covered the class types. So we already did these two. We're going to put X's on those so we don't cover them. All right, cool. Okay, so next is the skills. Now, the skills are what you need to calculate and determine the values of them, because some of these earn more items than others. Now, if we go over the skills, you can see if I get a paladin, he's good at mining. That can make me some money. A sage, good for gardening. That can make me some money. Same thing with foraging and fishing. Those can make me some money. Like, I don't want to send a paladin or have a paladin that is a forager, because, I mean, he's just going to suck at it. However, he could have strong skills, and I could still use him in mining if I wanted to. It's more beneficial, though, to have a paladin that's a miner and has high strength and endurance. Why is that? Because high strength and endurance gives me more chances to get more rare items and better items when I'm mining. And the reason I want to have mining as my skill is because it takes less stamina. When you use up all of your stamina, you have to wait until you can quest again. Time is money. So that is the second value of the heroes. Well, actually third, I kind of skipped it. What are the skills? And how you calculate it is, say for example, you have 10 strength and 10 endurance. That means you have 20 points going towards mining. If it's 15 and 5, it's the same thing, 20 points. Now, profession, we already explained. How much revenue can they get? Well, foraging and fishing, there's a chance you get an egg. Those eggs are worth a lot of jewels. Some are like 500 jewels. And you also can get some runes, which are worth like 4 jewel or 26 bucks a pop. And gardening, this is good if you have some LP positions, because this will actually boost your rewards. In mining, if you have a bunch of locked jewel, well, you can unlock that jewel. Now, if you haven't been around in this game long enough, you're like, I don't have any locked jewels, so mining is worthless. Well, no, it's not, because you can mine gold, which is the money in the economy of DeFi kingdoms. These guys literally thought of everything. I love it. Same thing with gardening. You can still find different items even though you didn't LP. And if you didn't LP, well, no better time to start. Not financial advice. Fourth is card rarity. Why is card rarity important? Well, here's the summoning rarity chance. You can see Mythic is like, it ain't gonna happen, bro. Like, no chance with a common. I mean, there's a chance, but the point is, it's like, there's no chance. You can't even see that sliver. Is that a 0.3 or a 0.2? I don't know. It's like so tiny. So you guys can see it's very rare. Actually, it's a 0.5. That's how tiny it is. You can't even tell. It's actually lower than this now, especially with the common card. And you get less bonuses. So like a common gets no bonuses. Uncommon gets +1 point. Rare gets +4 points. Legendary is +7. And Mythic is +10. So TLDR is Mythics are always going to be stronger than a common, or vice versa. Mythic is always going to be stronger than a legendary, a rare, etc. Because it's always going to get that extra +10 bonus every 5 levels. So if I hit level 100, I'm going to have 200 extra stat bonus over anyone else. Like, I will always be stronger than another person if I have a mythic compared to whatever. Yeah, so it's something you can keep in mind on that. Card rarity, we went over that. And it's also very hard to get these. Let me show you guys the populations of the different cards. So you can see, like, mythic, there's like 931. Legendary, there's 2,000. Rare, there's 11. Uncommon, 19,000. And common, there's like nuts and ham. There's a lot. And you can see the populations by profession. Those are kind of just random. Luck is also really good. TLDR on luck is it increases chances of critical hits and landing rare items, which is money. So people like to have the luck skill because you can also win in skills with it, which win the bounties of the person that dies, etc. And also pure or non-pure. What do I mean by pure? Well, if you have like, let me just show you a card so you guys can see what I'm talking about. A knight priest is not pure, but a warrior wizard also not pure. But a warrior, that's a pure class. That's harder to get than a warrior wizard or a warrior whatever. The reason why it's harder is because you have to have that chance of hitting the warrior and the warrior out of 8 classes. So really hard to do. I'm not going to go through the math on it, but TLDR, it's more likely that you'll get a warrior in a random class than a warrior in a warrior. It's like a 13% chance that you hit a warrior and a warrior. Or like 15. So the reason why this is valuable is because if you have a warrior and you pair that, the purebred with another purebred of, let's see, a knight. So if I pair a warrior with a knight, I have a better chance of getting a paladin than I do with a warrior archer and a knight thief. I just have a better chance of doing so because I get rid of those recessive genes and I have a purebred. So those do call for some value. We already went over that. Skill points. So the skill points, these are just going to be like when you're leveling up. So every time you level up, you get additional skill points and from questing and so on. Don't really need to go into that too much. And also, like, if you have a level or 15 skill point luck over a 13 skill point luck, what I mean by this is like right here, you can see here's the stats. Like this, level 8 luck, level 7. I'd rather have someone with a higher luck. It's just worth more because it'll get you better items and do better things. And overall level. This is also important because if you have a level 1 or a level 2, this takes time and it takes runes to get to a level 2. So the level 2 is actually going to be more valuable because it's the value of time. It takes time to do so. You have to quest like every single day and it takes a lot of time. And lastly is summoning. You can see the advanced classes are going to be worth more because they're harder to get and the basic are a lot easier because that's what everyone starts with. And then you have elite and exalted. So that's a quick overview of what gives the heroes value. The reason why these are value is mainly collector's value and the skills that they will have. The Dread Knight is going to be very strong, and same thing with the Dragoon. And you can see here on these different skills like the Paladin, this is an advanced class. This is actually going to be your best miner you can possibly get. Same thing with the Ninja, that's going to be your best fisher. The Sage is going to be your best gardener or forager, and those are elite classes. The only ways to get those are, well, going through the summoning process or buying it from someone who already went through the summoning process. And it's just harder to get them. The reason why is they have value is because scarcity. It's not very common, and same thing with value. It's common supply and demand. Someone else sees them, they see the value in it, they want it. You see the value in it, you want it. That's what drives the price up. Now, if you have a sucky card and someone else is like, you got a sucky card, it's like, I'm going to sell it. And then the other guy's like, I ain't buying that junk. You buy that junk. And you're like, I already did. I got a sucky card. And it's like, sorry, bro. That's what drives the value in the heroes. And obviously other things down the line, the stronger your hero, the better it'll be in PvP. And you can beat other people and get their items. If you guys want to join the Discord, there's a link in the description below. It's going to be more premium content and more content like this, as well as other videos on different cryptocurrencies, crypto assets, yield farming, everything TLDR and DeFi. Proverbs chapter 14 verses, or I'm sorry, we're in Proverbs chapter 13 verses 8. Where is it? Oh, no, 9. The light of the righteous shines brightly, but the lamp of the wicked is snuffed out. Be righteous, be good, because you'll shine. That's how it rolls. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you in the next one. If you guys like this video, smash up that like, leave a comment, tell me what you guys think of the video. See you in the next one. You guys can also catch me on Tweeters. It's at rent a home fast, like literally at rent a home fast.